Okay, to make a record on PastPerfect, we're first going to start with making an accession number for it. To make an accession number, you're going to go down to Activities, and then you're going to go to Accession. Now you're in here. This is our last accession number. It's 2025-0035. So that means our new accession number for our new record is going to be 2025-0035, 0036. So we're going to do add new accession number, and we're just going to put 2025-0036 right in there. And then we're not going to select the donor because we don't have one. And then add new accession. We want to make sure that the two boxes on the bottom are checked. And if you're making an accession number with very similar information from the last one, you could say fill with current data, but we don't have any data. So we're just going to do at the bottom two and add new accession. Now we have a blank slate. We're first going to start with received by over here. So my name's Anna. It was received by me. And so we're going to go left click with our mouse or on the mouse pad. And, right click. And then I'm going to select my name on the list. It says Anna Di Piazza. If you don't have your name on the list, you can always add it with this little plus up here that says add new entry. You're just going to click that and then type in your last name and then comma your first name. I'm also going to say that it was accessioned by me. And we don't have to worry about the price or the value because we are not selling it. It's not going anywhere. And either way, it's speculated. We'd have to get it appraised for that, but we don't have to for this case. So a brief description. What I'm going to be recording today is a 15-piece glassware or jadeware set. Looks like this. There's two different types in the collection I am working on. So there, I'm going to put more detail in the record itself, but for now, for the description, I'm just going to say 15-piece jade et set used in Silver Bay dining room in the 1950s. And I might even put 15-piece, maybe I'll put the manufacturer. I'll put 15-piece Firestone. Oh no. What? It's oh yeah, Fire King. Alright, and that's good enough for this. If you wanted to always come back and add more, you're always welcome to. Save. We're going to skip this because we don't have a donor. And that is all for this. Now I'm going to hit X. We're going to go back to the home screen. Now we're going to make a new record. That was just making the accession number. Now we're going to make a new record. In objects, right here, we're going to put our record because obviously it's an object. And so this is the this is the last record that was open. We don't really need to worry about this. What we're going to do is go up here where it says add. We're going to add a new record. So enter session number. We're going to use the one we just made. So 2025-0036. And it's going to be the same object, same number for the object number. It's going to automatically fill. Object name. So I already know what it's going to be because I did this before. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how it makes sense in the lexicon. So we're going to open the lexicon. And so this is basically just a thesaurus of all the words that make sense to PastPerfect for what you will be cataloging. Obviously, we have things that aren't in the lexicon. The last time this was updated was 2015. So I highly doubt that there is everything that there needs to be in here. And that's fine. But for this case, there is what we need. So we're going to go to our category. We're going to go to materials. And then we're going to go down to food service for our subcategory. And then within our object names, we're going to go down to, oh, I overshot. Hold on. So there's a couple different types of dishes. Since this is a set, I'm just going to call it dish. And so, yeah, select this name on the bottom. So now that we have dish and we have their lexicon categories, honestly, if you are in a rush and you don't feel like using lexicon, or you think it genuinely isn't in there, you can just put in whatever object name you like and then ignore it, or just add it to the lexicon. But every archive I've worked in, no one really cares too much about it. I just wanted to show you how it worked, and this example, it worked out. So we're going to add our new record. So for a collection, since it's from Silver Bay and it's internally Silver Bay, we're going to do Silver Bay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to press edit. Okay, so in order to edit a record, you're going to press edit up here. Okay, and now Silver Bay Association. Oh, Association. And then it's in-house archives, but I realized I should show you this before I do that. If you right-click, you are able to pull up a list of the collections, and if you slide down, it's going to be Silver Bay Association in-house. So you can also do that as well, or you could just type it in. I just wanted to let you know that is an option. And then for our description, this is where we're really going to get into it. I can put that in after I do some more important things, because that is going to take a little bit. But I guess, you know what, actually, I'm going to show you how descriptive these can be. I have all of my information already. That's important to prepare beforehand, but you can always just put it right in. Since I'm recording this, obviously, I did it in advance. Anyway, so for a description, I'm going to say 15-piece jade at dishware set. Made by Fire King, comma, Anchor Hawk. These dishes So I want to include all the information I can, first by starting like what it is, what we're looking at, and then I want to talk about like where it was from, where it was used, why do we have it. So we have it because it was used in the 1950s in Silver Bay. These were found in our vault, so obviously they were used. My guess is that they were given to us so that way we can showcase them for the future. Right now we currently have an exhibition with old dishware. Although a lot of it is broken, we actually have this full set which is in good condition, which is important to note for later. I'm actually going to list out all the 15 pieces. I will come back to that because you don't have to sit through that. I honestly can't believe I made you sit through the first thing. But just so you know how much information we want to include, we want to make sure that we have as much as possible, so that way when someone down the line is looking at it, they understand why we have it, especially like any context it has. If we don't have any context, sometimes there's going to be a record that's a little more emptier than others, but that's okay. Some things are just interesting to look at, and we can still keep them for exhibitions. So this is good enough for the description for the sake of this video. I'm going to go back in and add some more. Again, you know the session number, so it's 2025 0036. So if you ever want to go and look at what I did, that's still going to be there. And here we go. I'm going to say it's cataloged by Anna Di Piazza. I'm going to give it a status because it's in really good condition. So I'm going to say okay. And status by Anna Di Piazza. Status date will be to this today. So this is actually 09/03/2025. And date, I'm going to say 1950s. I don't know exactly when Silver Bay bought this, but the reason how we know it's 1950s is because at the bottom of the cup, it says made in America or made in the USA. And when we looked it up and did some research, they said that was only added in 1951. So that gives us our range. Or it gives us our date. So we don't really need to put a range unless we have like a specific, whatever. Unless we have like a real range, we could just leave date as 1950s. Next, we're going to go to location. Currently, it is being housed in the Heritage Hall Archives. The archives are now, it's called Gull and Lounge, but we still call it Heritage Hall Archives. The room is the vault, and it is on shelf 47, actually. I don't have a shelf number for this yet, so I'm going to do add, and I'm going to type in shelf 47, enter, and then I'm going to select it right here. And it does not have a container number yet. I think I'm going to give it an object number of, here, actually, we could scroll down here and see that the last one I left off on was objects box 22. I do think that there's going to be a 23 before this one, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to add objects box 23. Objects box 23, enter, and I'm going to select it from this list, objects box 23. So now we have our location. One thing I wanted to talk about while looking in the making a record is relations. So in order to make relations, you don't have to be in editing mode. So I'm going to show you again back to this after we leave editing mode. But this is good for making this record connect to others. You might be thinking, why is that important? It's important later down the line, and I'm going to show you an example that I did earlier on. But while we are still editing, we're going to go to people, subjects, classification, search terms. So what's important here is search terms. This is what's going to come up. Like when you're looking for these objects, this is what you're going to look up in the general search. And so we have dishes, so I'm going to put dish, dishes. I'm going to put set, dishware. I'm going to put jadeware, or jade at. I'm going to put anchor. I'll put anchor, and then I'll put hawking, and then I'm going to put anchor hawking. Oh, messed that up. Now I'm just pressing enter every time I put one in. I'm going to do Fire King. Now I don't think it's case sensitive, but I'm also going to go back in and just add some lower cases. So like dishes, dish. I don't think I needed lowercase the names, but I'll put set in lowercase, But plate, there's plates, so plate, cup, cups, just like, different keywords. So, like, there was a creamer in here, a sugar bowl, no, not a sugar, yeah, there's a, wait, I'm sorry, oh, there's a pitcher in here, there's a pitcher, oh, there is a sugar bowl, okay, so, just like, a bunch of different, there's a bowl in here, just a bunch of different terms that people might look up, and you want it to come up in, so, just like a bunch of different terms that you could think of. So, like, I'll show you what I'm working with. It's a whole bunch. You can't really see because of the styrofoam, or sorry, the bubble wrap. But there's a lot of different pieces to this. And there's like plates, bowls, all that, all jazz. So, and on the side here, I have like a list of everything. I'm going to digitize this, and I'll show you that process as well in a different video. But just a bunch of different, names that someone might search, and they might be looking for this. So there's that. And condition report. Condition is very good. So I'm going to say excellent, actually. By Anna. Date 09/03/25. If there's anything you forget while I'm editing this, it is so fine, because you could save it and then you could edit it again later. There is no penalty for forgetting something. You can always just go back and fix it. Even if you realize something later down the line is wrong, you could always just go and change that. Going down this list, these are the same in the way that it's going to have the same description. The only difference between these are the extra stuff on the bottom. This is for if there's more of like a specific way this should be cataloged, like by talking about the collector, or the preservation methods, the site, like that would be more, like habitat would be more, like natural history. History would only have like provenance, or like it just all, like all the little extra bits all come down to what it is you're cataloging, like rock type, crystal comp, like this is all geology. And you could change these up here too as well. But yeah, it all comes down to just what you're cataloging. Appraisal. This is, like I said, when you get it to be valued. We are not getting these appraised. I mean, we could down the line, but it's not an urgent thing. Condition, just talking about how it is. Maybe I'll say a little. Oh, you have to edit. I always forget to do that. You have to press edit, and then you can type in here. So there is a little chip on the lip of the picture. Otherwise, everything looks great. Yeah. You don't even really have to do little notes or anything. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. So save. Dimensions. You can talk about, if you were talking about like an individual thing, this would be a great place to put it. I'm talking about multiple pieces, so it would be a lot to get into. Lexicon, you don't have to worry about this. This is like what you did beforehand. Location, we already did that. Notes and legal, this is just good for throwing in anything you need to. Like, oh, maybe like there was more with it. People, this is good if there's like a photograph and someone's in it, or if it was donated by someone, or if a name to this collection, it's good to put that in. Relations. Okay, so let's talk about relations. So now I'm not in editing mode. I'm in the normal mode. And say I want to create a relationship between this record and we'll do another one. So by pressing browse, a list of all the other records come up. And so say I want to relate it to this record right here, 2025-013. This is a dish. I don't have, wait. So it's a gold trinket dish. It's for an auditorium that burned down. Like, it's not related. It's not related. But for the sake of this, I'm going to add a relation so you can tell what it does. So we're going to go press this little plus button right here. And we're going to choose object. Well, objects is already chosen. But you can make a relationship across other, like other catalogs. So like archives, library, photos. And so I'm going to put in the object ID. And I'm going to put in 2025-0036. And object name is going to come up. So I'm going to hit, so I'm just going to click away from it. And now everything already fills in. And then I'm going to say add relation. So now it has the record we're in over here. And it also has the record we just related to, the one we just made. So if I was to double click this right here, it jumps us to the record we had just made. And so this is good, especially if you have multiple pieces that are related to each other. The only problem with this though is if you have something that's related across catalogs, I don't think it jumps to it. Here, let's add. We'll do archives and just add relation. So we just added to a random thing in archives. If we double click, it won't bring us to archives. But it's good so that way when you're looking at this, you'll know, oh, okay, this is related to something in archives. Now I'm going to note down the number and I'm going to go to it and I'm going to see like how it's related. It's like just a good way to keep everything organized and keep everything at its face value. Now I'm going to break up this relationship because they aren't actually related to each other, and I'm going to do that by pressing the little X and then collecting yes. And so now there's no more relationships. But this is a good thing to do, again, like just to keep yourself organized and to keep everything going. And that's about it as far as this goes. Everything else is kind of just there. And so I'm going to finish this, and everything else is kind of just done. So that's how you make a record in PastPerfect version 5. I don't know if it's going to change anytime soon. It's been the same for a very long time. And regardless of the computer you're working on, like I've said before, it's going to be the same. Just make sure you have fun with it, and it's always fun researching things you've never done before. And so, yeah. Alright. And if you wanted to add an image to it, that's for another day.